Hello, hello, everyone. It's Dr. Tamara Beckford, and I am here to welcome you inside the EntreMD Business School.
Woo-hoo.
Alrighty, I am excited as usual. I have one of our superstars. That's my girl here, Dr. Loretta Duggan. Now, I'm going to have her fully introduce herself. She's going to tell us all about her business, and where she's located. Go ahead, Dr. Loretta.
Thank you so much for that awesome introduction, Dr. Beckford, as always.
Mhm,
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Loretta Duggan. I am a primary care physician trained in both family and adolescent medicine,
mhm,
and also CEO of Her Health. So here at Her Health, we help teens and young adult ladies 11 to 26
mhm.
transition to and through puberty to confidently embrace their menstrual health, their reproductive and sexual health, so that they can live the life that they choose. And we're here in Athens, Georgia. We're 2 months in now, which is awesome. So it's really
Yay.
exciting, and we're excited to grow.
Oh, alrighty. I am so happy. I'm proud. I'm ecstatic. Like all of those words. Get the thesaurus and add some more words. That's me right now. And I've known Dr. Duggan since she joined the business school. And, we had a really great little talk a couple days ago when I just told her how proud I am of her, of all of what she's been doing. Now, people on the outside that's just getting to know you. Some of
Mhm.
the things that they might be thinking is like, okay, wait a minute. You said that we're open all of 2 months? Whoa. Like, what is it that are some of these big tangible wins that you've had over the last 12 months? If you were able to do this in the last 2 months, tell us.
Right, yes. So no, it's been a game changer for
Hmm.
sure. The first would be transitioning from the W-2. I just call it the W-2. Going from employee to
Hmm.
now a private practice owner. And so that's been a huge, awesome transition.
Hmm.
Of course, with its ebbs and flows, but I wouldn't change it for anything at this point. The other tangible win would be making tough decisions. And with
Hmm.
that means I sold my primary residence. That
Oh,
was not
wow.
the plan, right? That
Hmm.
was not the plan when I purchased it. And I wasn't even thinking about business at the time. I was more so kind of focused on building my real estate portfolio. And so
Hmm.
I was going to turn it into a rental, but the
Hmm.
numbers just didn't make sense for it. I did some renovations, so it appreciated. So
Hmm.
when I sold it, it wasn't a loss that we took.
Hmm.
But in doing that and trusting my vision, those
Hmm.
funds are now funding my new baby, my business, her health. So really just trusting in the process, making those tough decisions, being
Hmm.
decisive, but still moving forward at the same time.
Oh, wow. Like you said, being decisive, but still moving forward. Now, one
Yes.
of the things that we did talk about when, a couple of days ago, when I was just pouring into Dr. Duggan, when I'm like, I'm just so proud of you. I remember when, yeah, I turned into that. I remember when friend.
Yeah.
So, we were talking about when you joined the school that you were thinking like real estate, this, I wasn't really sure. You now are an entrepreneur and a business owner, right?
Yes, through and through.
Through and through. And how long has it been since you made this tangible move from joining the school to now being a business owner? Because people are thinking, like, oh, maybe you've been here for like quite a long time. But go ahead, let them know.
No, I've been in the business school now for a year and a half.
Hmm.
So about 6 months or a little over when I first
Hmm.
joined the business school, I knew that was going to be the direction that I would be focusing my energies. And then maybe about 3 months after that, I decided the house gonna have to go. We're gonna, we're gonna downsize. The math wasn't mathing with it for us to be a
Hmm.
rental. And, I just had to cut my losses and it's still working out because now I'm able to self-fund the business and I'm so
Hmm.
grateful for that. I haven't had to take a loan as of yet.
Hmm.
So I'm really thankful for that and really laying
Wow.
that groundwork
Hmm.
in the mindset. And again, once the decision was made to move forward with it.
Love it. So now you talked about laying that work down, especially in the mindset. What are some of those intangible wins that you say that you have learned or even gained, I should mention, over this last 12 months in being in the business school?
Yes, so intangibly, mindset has been
Hmm.
huge. It's been
Hmm.
so huge. Because as Dr. Una says so much, the undisciplined mind is an idiot.
Yes.
It will take you places you didn't even know could exist.
Hmm.
But we want to use that in a positive way, right? We want to
Hmm.
spend that so that our minds can be an asset for us rather than a liability. I want my
Absolutely.
brain to work for me, telling me
Mhm.
how can we figure through things
Mhm.
versus the pits of no return on all the things
Which
that
we
could go
know our
wrong.
minds can take us,
It's
right?
so easy.
Yes.
So being able to reframe and
Hmm.
refocus so that there's no such thing as failure. There are
Hmm.
only the lessons that you
Mm,
learn from the things that
right.
don't necessarily go the way that you anticipate them going.
Hmm.
But at the end, they still work out for your good. They still work out for your benefit because of the lesson that you learn.
Ah, so powerful, so powerful. Trying to tame that undisciplined thing called the mind. If we just
Yes,
let it go amok, it will go amok. But
yes,
you're able to pull that in, tame it, and you're able to make some tangible decisions, and you are having some tangible returns on those decisions,
absolutely.
right? You
Yes.
have your practice, your private practice, your baby, and
Hmm.
it's all there. Now, as you mentioned, you said there's some ebbs and flows because I love the fact that you're realistic. You're like, listen, I'm not gonna come up here and make it sound
That's
like it's
right.
all sugar coated, But what are some of those lessons? What are some of those lessons that you learned within the last 12 months that you would like to impart on those who are listening?
For sure. So the one would be negotiating. So the
Mm,
power of negotiating for the space that you want, the
uh-huh.
renovations that you may want,
Mm-hmm.
just really, advocating, learn to advocate for yourself and also making it a win-win. Never
Mm-hmm.
Split the Difference is a really great book, and I've
Chris
really tried to
Voss.
live by those principles.
Yes.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so important and it's so true. Um, just in life in general. And so
Mm-hmm.
not to get in the feelings of it. We're so altruistic and giving and we want to be
Yes.
helpful and all, but it's business.
It is
It's,
business.
it is
Absolutely.
different. So practicing and building that muscle
Mm-hmm.
for negotiations has really been huge. And then realizing the power of marketing.
Mm.
We feel like we're the greatest thing. We have these big, huge ideas and no one knows about us.
Yes.
You have an open house, and then people say, like, "Are you open?" Let me make this video so I can let the world know that yes, we are open and accepting patients. So, if they
Yes.
say that if you're not marketing, then you're dying. If you're
Mm-hmm.
not growing, you're dying. So,
Mm-hmm.
marketing is going to be a key piece through and through. And then lastly, I would say recognizing the power of that email list, how you can touch people not
Mm-hmm.
just online, but now you have the offline relationship as well
Yes.
that you can start to cultivate. And so they can definitely start to know, like, and trust you more. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's when the word of mouth and it kind of spins from there. So I'm still
Mm-hmm.
in the growing phase of things right now, but
Mm-hmm.
I know that with the marketing, with the email list growth, I know it'll only continue to accelerate once it takes off.
Ah, that is so beautiful. Those are great lessons. Number one, you might think that everybody knows what's going on in your head, but
Uh,
no, they don't. Number
mm-mm,
one. And number two, yeah,
mm-mm.
you have this great idea, and you might have said it once in one
Right.
way, but not everybody caught it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you had the
Yep.
grand opening, but yes, they'll still ask you if you are open.
Absolutely. And my mind was just blown. I'm like, what do we mean? What happened?
That grand opening was
What
gonna
how did I
bump for
drop the
that one
ball
day.
on this?
One day. That was it, that one day. Now, are we still here? So people
Mm-hmm.
want to know. So like you said, inviting them in and letting them know that through your social media, which you've been doing a great job marketing, as you mentioned, marketing is so important. If you aren't
Yes.
growing, then you are receding. And
Mm-hmm.
so people
That's
need to
right.
to constantly be aware of what you're doing and the services that you're providing for them. And you've done like I said, an excellent job at that. So I love those lessons. Alrighty. So now, like you said, you've been in the business school for like a year and a half. Now, how has the business school helped you within the last 12 months to achieve some of your goals?
Yes, the business school lets me know what's possible. It
Mm.
sets the vision for
Hmm.
me and seeing, I used to say my classmates, my colleagues.
Yes, we're
Um,
classmates, your sisters, your brothers. That's how we roll with the family, the unicorn
yes,
family.
it really is because you see kind of where they were and how they're progressing, and then the goals that they're meeting, the ebbs and
Hmm.
the flow with their journey as well. But the biggest
Hmm.
thing is what's possible now. So now the dream
Hmm.
that I once held myself, I
Hmm.
realize that it can be done.
Wow.
And Dr. Una's done such a great job where now we're laying the blueprint, we're
Hmm.
laying the path to actually reach,
Hmm.
those same milestones, those same accomplishments as well. And
Hmm.
then from there, we're supplemented with some type of reading, a book of the month, which has been awesome. I haven't read in this way like in years.
Right.
Thanks, med school.
A lot of us have felt that way, right? We
Yeah,
read
we
in
just
journals and
haven't had
stuff.
time and things to really kind of focus on what it is that we want our actual career to look
Mhm,
like.
mhm.
Now that we have more control over what it is that we're deciding to do, regardless of whether we're an entrepreneur, which is how I started, to
Mhm.
becoming an entrepreneur in our own businesses. The world is our oyster at this
Yes.
point, but we have the blueprint rather to get there. And
Mhm.
then we have the supplements with the books that help keep us focused as well.
Love it, love it. Now, the thing about it is that people are there and they're listening. They're hearing your journey. And you even just mentioned, you're like, I started as an entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
and then I decided like, hey, I now want to be an entrepreneur. So what would you say to that entrepreneur who's out there who's afraid? Because it's like, well, I don't know, should I make that step? Should I make that leap? That just sounds very scary. I'm gonna be all by myself. I'm on my own, which they truly aren't if they're,
Right.
a part of us.
Mm-hmm.
But they're really afraid. What would you say to that person who's thinking, and then they're kind of like on the fence about joining the business school?
Yes. So it definitely is not an easy decision. None of it
Mm.
comes easy.
Absolutely.
But I think you get to a point where you're ready to evolve, but you're just
Hmm.
not sure how. You
Mm.
know how you want your practice to look, but under the corporate umbrella, it's just not going to happen.
Mm.
And so at that junction, you're kind of like, which direction do we take? Do we kind of continue said path where we kind of know how it leads? We'll be here 10, 20, 30 years.
Hmm.
Or do we take the leap and bet on ourselves and
Hmm.
figure out the how can I
Right.
part?
Right.
And then the other thing for me too is that I did on demand first. So that's kind of the monthly subscription that Dr. Una has in addition to the podcast,
Hmm.
which are free. And with that, I saw so many wins. So from realizing that, yes, I could actually be a good leader. I have
Hmm.
the qualities of a leader, with
Absolutely.
team buy-in, to meet different KPIs for the month. We had one every month that we focused on improving
Hmm.
productivity, more community events that we were doing. So I was improving the culture and realizing that's something that, oh, okay, actually, I can do this,
Hmm.
And then with that, I was like, now I'm looking at P&L statements, what I do that for, because now I know how much revenue I'm bringing into a company, to my organization.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, we can actually make this work, and this is how it can look on
Hmm.
the other side for myself. And so with
Yes.
that, I asked for a raise. I asked for a $20,000 raise. They were
Hmm.
like, okay. And I was like, thank you. And that's what I actually used to help cover my first year in EBS.
Hmm.
So my ROI, my return on investment just from the monthly,
Hmm.
program was enough that was all I needed from there to take the leap for
Mm-hmm.
the year-long program. And I'm so glad that I did, because I don't know how many years down the line it would have taken me to get to this place.
Mm-hmm.
After 1.5 years of being in the business school with my classmates.
I love it. I love it. Now, what would you say your experience has been in business school? Because I think a lot of people think that it's just like, okay, it can't be like that. It's like, why are all of you guys happy? It just doesn't feel right. Because if we really think about how life is overall, the experience that most people are having, especially those in healthcare, it's not
Hmm.
really an overwhelmingly positive experience. And so there's a little bit of like side eye, like, come on now. But
Right.
tell
It can't be too
it
good to be
can't be
true. Too good to
like
be
that.
true.
Yes.
Look, it's everything that they say it is and more. Look, I think people are real in the space about what happens in
Mm-hmm.
business on the other side. Yes, we're all like great clinicians and we see each other doing our
Mm-hmm.
things on social media and doing our webinars and all the things, but we don't just get to see the sunshine and rosy parts. We get to
Right.
see the struggle as well.
Absolutely.
And I think that is where the stronger connections are made, where they're
Mm-hmm.
born, where we can better understand the, other side of entrepreneurship, which a lot of us just do not know about. This is totally foreign, for
Mm-hmm.
most of us. But I would say that Dr. has done such a great job in cultivating this group of unicorns that I think overall at baseline, we're probably pretty positive anyway.
Yes.
And we just
Mm-hmm.
need that extra boost to say, yes, you can do this. Here's the
Mm-hmm.
path, where I've done it and you can do it too. And bring your friends, bring everyone along with you so that we can
Yes.
all succeed together. So it really is true, with that reality, with the realness that
Mm-hmm.
comes with it, and seeing both of those sides together. It's a beautiful thing. It is so beautiful. And I'm glad that I've been able to witness it, firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
And not the best, like you said, I'm not always the loudest one or always the ones with the questions, but I'm always listening. I'm always paying attention
Oh
so that
yeah.
I can continue to grow and make
Mm-hmm.
progress along the way, staying in momentum and, piggybacking off my classmates, or how did you do this? Or how did this work? And then
Yes.
action, and then taking action.
And I think that that's one of the attributes of those who join the school is taking action. I've also remember even mentioning to Dr. Una, I'm like, I turned into this person where, okay, I've done this, and we've had like a week where thing or a couple weeks, like where things are very hectic, and you're like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm
Hmm.
speaking here, there, and everywhere, and then you take a quick break, but then the break is really like, okay, already I've rested. Okay, now it's time for me to take some more action. So you've turned
Hmm.
into someone who's very action oriented. You're not just sitting and just waiting for life to happen to you.
That's
You're not
right.
waiting for this business to just do well on its own. You
Hmm.
know that you have to put in work. And if those who are listening, if you listen to a couple of the other episodes, you'll hear something that's a theme amongst all of the guests, which is like, you have to put in the work.
That's
It's a
right.
great place, but it's not a place that you're just going to come and just sit, right? What
Hmm.
would you say, Dr.
That's
Loretta?
right. No, absolutely. And I was just thinking while you were saying that we
Mm-hmm.
all experience some form of peer pressure. And, I deal
Mm-hmm.
with adolescents, so like peer pressure. And we think of
We're
it
thrown in our
as,
adolescence. I love it.
yeah, and we think of it negatively, but in
Mm-hmm.
this environment, it's actually a positive thing because
Yes.
we see how our classmates are moving. And no,
Mm-hmm.
we won't all move at the same pace.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that we're still in momentum. At the end of the
Absolutely.
day, it's about momentum and
Mm-hmm.
staying in motion, not being stuck kind of where
Right.
you are or
Mm-hmm.
feeling, woe is me. I don't know how we're gonna. nope, we're gonna figure it out. If you
Yes.
reach out to someone, someone will, help you. But you have to
Mm-hmm.
be willing to do that. And I'm speaking to myself too, because I'd be like, I don't know. But as soon as I do, I'm like, okay, great. And then I'm ready. And
And
then
then the
I'm
thing is,
ready to
people will
go.
reach out even when you don't. Like I
That's
remember, like
right.
people will
They'll
send you
check in
text
on you
messages and
too and say
yes.
what's going on, or, great open house. It looks like you had so much fun, or congratulations. We're
Mm-hmm.
supporting, each
Mm-hmm.
other through and through, not just the good, but the not so great and all
Absolutely.
things in between.
Yes, love it, love it, love it. Well, there it is. Like we are going to help you celebrate the good, the not so great, and everything in between, because that's
Hmm.
what we do as a part of the business school. So if you are on the outside looking in, we just gave you a quick sneak
Come
peek
on.
of what's it like. So like Dr. Loretta said, come on in. Come on in and make your dreams come true. Like your entrepreneurship dreams come true. If you've been sitting here and you have a business that you want to cultivate, that you have within your heart, an impact that you want to leave on this world, on this journey called life, come on into the EntreMD Business School and make that a reality. We are here to support you. There are lots of us. We have a huge alumni and we have a huge amount of physicians who are currently doing the same, living that dream life and building a dream business at the same time. All righty. Any last words, Dr. Loretta?
You can do it. Bet
Yeah.
on yourself. Come on in.
I love it. You can do it. Bet on yourself. Come on in. And with that, we're going to end today's episode of Inside the EntreMD Business School podcast. I'm Dr. Tamara Beckford, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care. Thank you so much, Dr. Loretta, for stopping by.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. My pleasure.